This 18-year-old speaks Mandarin, wants to own fast food restaurants, and reads Kobe Bryant's books. He wants to bring joy to his hometown of Memphis, Tennessee, and happens to be the #1 ranked high school player in the ESPN 100, class of 2019. Say hello to James Wiseman, the 7'1" big man, and big name to be. For the last year, meditation has been a part of his daily routine. Kobe Bryant meditated, and Wiseman absorbs everything about the late Lakers star, from watching his online interviews to reading his Wizenard Series of children's books. Wiseman averaged 19.7 points and 10.7 rebounds in 3 games at Memphis. Then, he was ruled ineligible by the NCAA for 12 games because Coach Penny Hardaway gave his mother $11,500 in moving expenses when Wiseman moved to Memphis before his junior year in high school. Wiseman eventually decided to leave school and prepare for the draft. Let's move forward with our video and have a look at the top 10 things you didn't know about James Wiseman. So, let's begin. But before we proceed further, if you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, do hit the subscribe button so that you won't be missing out on any future NBA content. Number 10. Birth and early life. Born on March 31st, 2001, James Montanese Wiseman is an American professional basketball player for the Golden State Warriors of the NBA. He played college basketball for the Memphis Tigers. Listed at 7'1" and 247 pounds, he plays the center position. He was drafted with the 2nd overall pick in the 2020 NBA Draft. Wiseman began high school at the Ensworth School in his hometown in Nashville, Tennessee, before transferring to Memphis East High School, where he was coached by former NBA player Penny Hardaway for the first year. As a senior, Wiseman was a consensus 5-star recruit, with most recruiting service ranking him #1 in the 2019 class. He claimed multiple National Player of the Year awards and played in the McDonald's All-American game after his final season. In college, Wiseman joined Memphis to play for Hardaway, who would become the Tigers' coach. Early in his freshman season, he was suspended by the National Collegiate Athletic Association, or NCAA, which deemed that Hardaway had acted as a booster by facilitating Wiseman's move to Memphis, Tennessee in 2017. He served part of the suspension before withdrawing from school to prepare for the 2020 NBA Draft. Number 9. Worked with Renown Trainer. Wiseman moved to Miami after leaving Memphis. His trainer is David Alexander, the founder and owner of DBC Fitness. Alexander has trained multiple NBA stars, including LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Paul, Donovan Mitchell, and Victor Oladipo. Number 8. Nashville to Memphis. Wiseman was born and raised in Nashville. In 2017, he moved to Memphis and played for East High School, which was coached by Hardaway, and won the Class AAA championship in 2018. Hardaway then took the Memphis job, and Wiseman averaged 25.8 points, 14.8 rebounds, and 5.5 blocks in 2019 as a senior at East, which lost in the state championship game. He garnered Tennessee Mr. Basketball, Morgan Wooten National Player of the Year, Gatorade National Player of the Year, McDonald's All-American, Jordan Brand Classic, and Nike Hoop Summit honors after in 2019. Number 7. High stats. Wiseman played only 3 games in college, but dominated in them, with 19.7 points, 10.7 rebounds, and 3 blocks in just 23 minutes a game. He made 80% of his twos with an absurd 47.8 PER. Wiseman dominated physically against smaller opposition, and racked up 27 free throws on only 26 field goal attempts, hitting 70.4% of them. Impressive for a young big. Number 6. His size bothers opponents on defense. Wiseman isn't Taco Fall or Bol out there, but his long arms and propensity to block shots are clearly an intimidating factor against his opponents. Often with big men, it's almost as important which shots don't even go up. Against Wiseman, a lot of shots aren't even getting attempted. Wiseman is an intimidator. He loads up on any chance for a block, and you see opponents cower and look for another option. Wiseman had 9 blocks in 3 games, and affected many more shots and non-shots. Keep yourself tuned in as we discover 5 more amazing facts with you all. Hope you guys are enjoying the video, and if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, do it now in order to make sure that you don't miss out on any future NBA content from now on. Number 5. Foul trouble potential. This hardly feels fair. Wiseman had 5 fouls in 3 games, 3 against Oregon. He picked up his first foul 19 seconds in, jumping at a pump fake and bringing his arms down. 4 minutes later, he picked up a questionable charging call, and that was it for the half. He picked up another cheap defensive foul in the second half, but played most of the half. So why foul trouble potential? It's his playing style. Wiseman knows he can block any shot in his area code, and he goes for all of them. He tries to swat every shot and goes for every pump fake. Early in his career, he's going to get into foul trouble early and often, a la Mitchell Robinson, Jaren Jackson, or any number of other numbers of young bigs. That's not unforgivable, but you can't affect the game if you can't stay on the court. Number 4. Not an elite athlete. Wiseman is clearly a very good athlete. He's the best athlete on the court and would have dominated in college. But the NBA is made up of the world's most elite athletes, and I'm not convinced Wiseman is an elite athlete. Wiseman looks comfortable in his body. More than a few big men prospects have looked uncomfortable just running up and down the court, and that's often led to injury issues. Not a problem for Wiseman. He runs smoothly and looks like a fluid athlete. But I don't see elite bursts or quickness on either end of the court. While Wiseman can extend when he loads up and leaps off of 2 feet, he's not quite as impressive off of 1 foot or on second leaps. He's not bad at those things, but it's Wiseman's frame and physicality that overwhelm, not his absurd athleticism. He can't just outrun the pack or do the Mitch thing where he just leaps out of nowhere and blocks a jumper. On defense, I didn't see quick twitch recovery ability. When an opponent gets past him, Wiseman can't always catch up to make the block. He also doesn't get back well on transition on defense. That ties into the very next issue. Number 3. A very good rebounder. Rebounding is one of the stickiest stats from college to pro, and Wiseman looks like a great rebounder. His size and physicality are dominant at times. Wiseman does a great job grabbing rebounds at their high point, where most can't get them. His offensive rebounding will be an especially valuable skill, since it's the easiest way for him to get the ball in position to score. Still, the rebounding relies more on physicality than technique. Wiseman doesn't do a lot of boxing out or positioning, relying on his strength and athleticism. He's much bigger than most, so that works out a lot of the time. But he gets pushed around and out physical, led by smaller players, and obviously won't have as much of a size advantage in the NBA. Wiseman also loses some defensive rebounding opportunities, getting out of position trying to block every shot. He'll be a good rebounder, but there's still work to do. Number 2. Quality touch and shot. Wiseman has a decent shot, and for an 18-year-old giant, that's a compliment. Against Oregon, one of Wiseman's most promising plays was a confident, smooth fadeaway from just above the free throw line. It's a good-looking shot that should translate beyond the arc in time. The Wiseman missed his only three-pointer. But Wiseman fell in love with his shot after that make and quickly took and missed several more shots away from the rim. That's a problem he had in high school too. You want your 6'11" giant dunking on guys, not taking fadeaways. We don't know much about Wiseman's touch around the basket yet, because most of his makes are dunks, but 20 for 25 on 2 sort of speaks for itself. Wiseman attempted 27 free throws, making 19 for 70.4%. Not bad. It's a competent, soft stroke, and enough to know that he won't get hacked off the court. He's not Karl Anthony Towns, but isn't Andre Drummond either. Number 1. Looks natural as a rim runner. Wiseman has the tools to wreck teams as a rim runner, and already looks comfortable in that role. A lot of his buckets came in transition or off a screen and roll. If you get the ball to Wiseman in space with a head of steam, it's all over. He has a big catch radius and is always calling for the ball in good positions. You'd think that's a given at his size, but it isn't always so obvious. The screens themselves are kinda meh. They're a means to an end, a chance to roll and get the ball. When he's not screening or rolling, Wiseman hasn't really figured out what to do yet. Wiseman sort of floats for position on offense and looks a bit lost in half-court offense. So, What are your thoughts on this young player? Let us know your answers in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thumbs up if you liked it, and do hit the subscribe button so that you won't be missing out on any interesting videos from now on.